Good morning, everyone. My name is Lauren Reeves. I'm with the National Weather Service in Peachtree City, Georgia, and this is your weekly weather briefing for the week of Thursday, July 30th, 2020. So we kind of have a lot to talk about today, so let's start to break it down. Overall, we'll start with our chances for rain and how they remain high through next week, and we'll take a look at rain chances for today and through the weekend. But overall, we are expecting more rain than we saw last week. But the high-risk coverage should remain in the afternoons and evenings, although we may still see some precipitation overnight. And overall, we could still see some isolated strong storms and potentially isolated severe storms, with the main threats being damaging winds, hail, lightning, and heavy rain. And those pockets of heavy rain could lead to some localized issues with flash flooding, which we'll take a look at soon. Then we will have those warm heat indices again. It's still summer, so those will definitely be in the upper 90s to mid 100s. The highest day is looking to be Friday currently, but we'll take a look at the weekend as well. And overall, the biggest topic probably, we are watching the tropics and all eyes are on Tropical Storm Isaias, and we'll continue to monitor the potential for impacts across our area. So let's take a quick look at our current conditions. The left loop here shows a radar loop from about 5:30 this morning to about 9:30 this morning. Now, as you can see, there are some showers across the area, but as we are expecting showers and thunderstorms, those should blossom later on this afternoon and into the evening. On the right-hand side here, we have a satellite loop from about 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Overall, nothing too interesting, but as you can see, we do have some cloud cover across the area that's expected to continue through the afternoon hours. Now let's take a look at our temperatures and heat indices for today, as well as our rain chances. The lefternmost graphic here is high temperatures, as you can see throughout the area, looking at the 80s to mid 80s around Atlanta, getting into the lower 90s across much of the rest of the area. That overall will keep our heat indices down, which is the middle graphic there. So our heat indices are looking at the mid 90s to the lower 100s, so a little bit cooler than we've been seeing in previous weeks. And then our rain chances on the right-hand side here are fairly high, looking at chances in the 60s and 70s and some spots up in far northeastern Georgia getting into the 80s. And so we'll have those pretty high rain chances through much of the afternoon and evening today. So let's look at our risk of severe storms today, as well as our risks for excessive rainfall. The left-hand graphic here shows the outlook for today from the Storm Prediction Center. We did previously have a marginal risk across the area, but that has since been pulled back further north. And so that marginal risk bumps just up to our northern border. So just expecting typical thunderstorms today, but do not rule out an isolated strong storm or an isolated strong to severe storm as well. Now looking at the right-hand graphic, our excessive rainfall outlook, with our highest chances for rain being across portions of northern Georgia and having a really good day for efficient rain producers, we are looking at a marginal risk of excessive rainfall, and that just means that we could see some pockets of heavy rainfall with any of the stronger showers and thunderstorms that do develop, and this rainfall could lead to some isolated flash flooding issues, so just be on the lookout for that. So now let's talk about our overnight rain chances. This graphic here shows about north of I-20, we could expect about a 40 to 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms overnight. And then in far northeastern Georgia, some spots getting into that 60% range. Overall, some models had been showing a line of more organized showers and thunderstorms heading towards our forecast area in the late evening to overnight hours from Alabama and Tennessee. But models have started to back off on that pretty well, and it's looking much less likely now. That's not ruling out any type of showers or thunderstorms moving into the area, just overall more organized showers and thunderstorms. So still keep an eye out, as there is some uncertainty overnight, but we do maintain those chances through the morning hours. So now let's quickly talk about our heat indices, or our feel-like temperatures on Friday and Saturday. Here you can see both Friday and Saturday. Overall, Friday looks like the warmest day, and although temperatures on Friday and Saturday should be in the upper 80s to 90s, the heat indices are looking to be in the upper 90s to lower 100s. So if you'll be outside, just make sure you're exercising caution and drinking plenty of water and taking breaks if you need to. So now let's jump into our rainfall chances, looking at Friday through the weekend. So Friday here, our highest chances across portions of far northwestern Georgia with about 70-80%. Around I-20 and north, looking about 40 to 50 to 60 and 70%. And then south of I-20, looking at about 30 to 40% across the area. We do have some potential for showers and thunderstorms overnight on Friday and Saturday, with about 30 to 50% chances generally across northern Georgia. As we move into Saturday, those chances will be a little bit lower than Friday, but overall still in the 40 to 50 to 60% range across far northern Georgia on Saturday, with about 30% or less further south. And Saturday, we do maintain about 30 to 50% chances for showers and thunderstorms in the overnight hours and into the early morning hours. By the time we get to Sunday, our chances overall have increased again, and area-wide is looking into the 40s and 50s, with portions of northeastern Georgia getting into the 60s. And we do have chances overnight as well, around 40 to 60% generally across northern Georgia. Overall, the best coverage for showers and thunderstorms is going to be from about noon to 9 p.m. for any of our general pop-up thunderstorms in the afternoons and evenings. But as we get into Sunday and further out into the forecast, the uncertainty definitely increases with the rainfall as we take a look at Tropical Storm Isaias. So now let's take a look at our severe storm outlook for Friday and Saturday. On the left-hand side, we see Friday. Overall, just typical general thunder across the area, although an isolated strong storm won't be out of the question. And then as we look at Saturday, pretty much similar across portions of northern and eastern Georgia in general thunder, with some strong storms not out of the question, especially across portions of northwestern Georgia, a little bit closer to that marginal risk. Otherwise, there could be an area generally around I-20 and south, closer to Macon and Columbus, where just showers would be possible, or even, decreased chances for showers and thunderstorms, as there's a little bit of a dry slot in between the system to our northwest and Isaias to the southeast. So now let's shift our attention to the tropics. Here, the graphic on the left-hand side is the 5-day tropical outlook. The main thing here is going to be Isaias currently, and there is a little area out off the coast of Africa, but looking at only about a 20% chance of formation out 5 days, so we're not really too worried about that. Otherwise, we are continuing to keep a close eye on Tropical Storm Isaias, and this is as of the 11 a.m. update from the National Hurricane Center. And overall, we'll get into this a little bit more, but currently, minimal impacts are expected to north and central Georgia from this storm. So now let's talk a little bit more about Tropical Storm Isaias as of the 11 a.m. update from the National Hurricane Center. The track is shown on the left-hand graphic here, and around 11 a.m. Thursday, the storm was located just south of Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and is expected to move northwestern towards the coast of Florida. Overall, intense strengthening is not currently expected from Isaias. Overall, the environment's not really ideal for the strengthening, but as of discussions from the hurricane call this morning, there is still a possibility of the storm strengthening into a hurricane, but overall, that intense strengthening is not currently expected. From previous updates, the overall track is relatively unchanged, although just slightly pushed a little bit east of our area. And overall, the track and intensity still has a lot of uncertainty, especially being several days out from the storm potentially affecting our area. And as always, please keep in mind, this graphic is just showing the cone, so impacts are felt well beyond the center of the storm. Overall, if you need a little bit more information on Tropical Storm Isaias, make sure to check out NHC's page, and there's the link down there, and also you can see our briefings that we've previously sent. So here in the center of this slide is a satellite image of Tropical Storm Isaias and what it's been doing recently. Overall, like we just talked about on the previous slide, we are continuing to monitor the storm over the next several days, and with the current forecast, impacts from this system are expected to be fairly minimal across portions of northern and central Georgia, although we are expected to see some rainfall from this storm. And like I said previously, keep up with NHC for any latest info, and we will still be sending our daily email updates in the mid to late afternoon hours, as long as we still are expected to have impacts from the storm. So now let's talk about the expected rainfall from the storm. And I will say, please do note that these rainfall amounts are definitely likely to change as the track even shifts just slightly towards or away from our area. So make sure you keep up with our forecast and our email briefings to see how these changes occur. But overall, like I said before, just continuing to monitor, but overall totals currently are looking about 1/4 inch to about 1 inch or so for our area. And those amounts could definitely be a little bit higher with any of the storms that may sit over an area for a while, or any stronger storms that may dump a lot of rain on any one area. But widespread, currently not looking at too high of rainfall totals, but definitely this is something to keep an eye on, as these will definitely change over the next few days. So now let's shift our attention a little bit and take a look at a 7-day forecast. Here from top down, we have Blairsville up top, Atlanta in the middle, and looking at Macon at the bottom. Overall, temperatures across Blairsville looking at the 70s and the 80s with lows generally in the 60s. And as I mentioned before, we do get those chances for rain over the next few days, but the uncertainty increases as we get later in the week with expecting rain chances overall. As we move down to Atlanta, pretty much the same story as far as the rain chances, but the temperatures looking in the mid 80s, and then the low temperatures looking in the 60s and 70s. And then as we look down at Macon, again, similar with the rainfall, but temperatures in the mid to lower 90s with low temperatures in the 70s. And so in summary, we do have fairly high chances for rainfall through next week, although for the latter half of the forecast period, the uncertainty for rainfall definitely increases due to Tropical Storm Isaias. And so we'll continue to take a look at that and see how our chances for rainfall change due to the storm. But overall, the highest coverage over the next few days should be in the afternoons and evenings with some showers lingering overnight. And as always, we could see a couple strong storms with the main threats being damaging winds, hail, lightning, and heavy rain. And as far as today and tomorrow goes, those pockets of heavy rain could lead to some localized issues with flash flooding, so just keep a lookout for that. Otherwise, definitely warm today and tomorrow, looking at our highest heat indices on Friday with those temperatures in the 90s to mid 100s. And then overall, the biggest story here, Tropical Storm Isaias, and we are continuing to monitor the potential for impacts and will continue to send those updates from the National Hurricane Center as we can. And just as a reminder, we have migrated to doing pre-recorded briefings. So again, there will not be a 1 p.m. live briefing this afternoon, but please contact us with any questions you have via NWS chat, email, or by phone. And as always, a big thanks to all our partners for all that you do for us. And like I said before, just make sure to reach out to us with any questions you have. And that pretty much wraps up our weekly weather briefing for this week, and we will talk to you next week.